35-year-old woman in Garo Hills in Meghalaya, shot dead at point-blank range by suspected militants for resisting a rape and molestation attempt. Her husband and 5 children witnessed the horror. In another part of the country, in Badaयूं in Uttar Pradesh, politicians have decided to brazen out the criticism after the rape and murder of 2 minor girls.
ये घटनाएं केवल उत्तर प्रदेश में नहीं हो रही हैं। अब देश के मैं आंकड़े देने लगूंगा तब भी आप मेरे पे सवाल करोगे।
सीबीआई की इंक्वायरी क्या होनी चाहिए? आपको लगता है बदायूं रेप केस में होनी चाहिए? राज्य सरकार ने
आप हो जाओ ना।
Garo Hills and Badaयूं are top focus on News 360. Yes, the 2 savage crimes against women and the insensitive response of our politicians. That's going to be our relentless coverage here on News 360. Good evening, I'm Anubhav Bhosle.
Good evening, I'm Karma Paljor. Also look at the other headlines that we're tracking this hour. An IT professional is killed in Pune by suspected Hindu Rashtra Sena workers. Police arrest 14 people. The violence followed inflammatory posts on a social networking website. The city is now calm.
Afghan authorities arrest 1 person for the abduction of an Indian NGO worker, Alex Prem Kumar, in Herat. BJP ally Vaiko appeals to the Prime Minister for action.
Tens of thousands joined the top BJP leadership to pay their last respects to Gopinath Munde. His supporters torch a car in protest, asking for a CBI probe into his death.
The 16th Lok Sabha meets for the first time. The budget will be revealed in the first week of July. Prime Minister Modi is meeting all secretaries of the central government.
CBI registers its first set of FIRs in the Sharda Chit Fund scam. 3 FIRs filed in West Bengal, 43 in Odisha.
The big sports story, can Roy Hodgson's new look England team break the World Cup jinx, or will defence be the team's big problem?
And 25 years ago, tanks and automatic rifles silenced massive political demonstrations in Beijing's Tiananmen Square. A virtual clampdown today as well. But first on News 360, a gruesome savage murder of a 35-year-old woman in Meghalaya's South Garo Hills district. Allegedly, militants shot her at point-blank range for resisting molestation attempts.
Yes, it's a story that has shocked and put the country to shame. Police say her husband and 5 children were locked up in the house and witnessed this horror. The alleged militants of the GNLA, the Garo National Liberation Army, fired almost 6 rounds at the woman. The GNLA, of course, is accused in several cases of murder, kidnapping and extortion in the past. Now, the Home Ministry has acted in this matter and has sought a report. Top police officials have rushed to the spot. In fact, there's been widespread condemnation of this very brutal attack.
You said that you met the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. You have also petitioned the Home Ministry. What was the response that you got from them?
Response was very positive. They said they will take up the matter with the state government. We have also gone up to the chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission, and they were very kind. And even today, when Mr. Rijuju met our delegation, he said he will certainly do whatever he can do from his side. Law and order is a state subject, and yet central government cannot keep quiet, cannot keep silent. They will do their bit. We have been demanding for an independent inquiry, either by CBI or whatever, but independent inquiry should be conducted. That is our demand.
Government also would like to urge on all civil society groups, human rights activists, and all the right-thinking citizens to come forward to condemn the most heinous act of human rights violation by the militant outfit. We have identified the people who perpetrated the crime, and it definitely belongs to the terrorist organizations called the Garo National Liberation Army. I'm sending a delegation led by the Home Minister, who is also a lady herself, and we have a scheme under which the victims are compensated. That being a part, I think the need will be now to look at the children, whom I'm sure must be panic-stricken, so it will have lots of bearing on their psychology. Therefore, need is there to assess as to what is the kind of amount of mental and agony the children must have been subjected to, and we will take all the measures which is required to basically take care of the children.
We have asked the report from the Meghalaya state government, and the report is likely to come soon. In the meantime, the Chief Minister has spoken to me, and he has narrated me the incident of the Garo Hills.
Can you share the facts of the case? What really happened according to what you heard?
Officially, we are yet to receive. We have sought the information from the state government, but the situation is bad, and the law and order situation of Meghalaya has deteriorated. We have already sent 10 companies of paramilitary forces, 5 CRPF companies and 5 BSF companies.
Any particular group being suspected to be behind this?
The reports is the Garo National Liberation Army, and there are some fringe elements also. So we have asked for a detailed reports from the state government.
Okay, so you've heard from all the stakeholders. Let's get an assessment of the situation with our correspondent Arijit Sen, who's tracking this situation. Arijit, we heard the Minister of State for Home, and I do believe you're getting independent confirmation from security officials that the incident is most definitely a handiwork of the GNLA, and perhaps this group had branded the family as a police informer of sorts.
Well, it is the GNLA, there is no doubt about that. But what is disturbing is that the GNLA has been operating in this region for the last 5 years. They've pretty much had a free run in extortion, in abduction and killing. In fact, in the last 1 week, there has been 4 incidents of abduction. And it's not just the GNLA. There are other splinter groups. In 2013, we've seen at least 7 splinter groups operating in this region, all trying to spread terror and assert their control. So despite the assurances of the Home Minister, despite assurances of the Member of Parliament P.A. Sangma, and also politicians of the state, including the Chief Minister, on the ground the situation remains very vulnerable for the people of Garo Hills. Remember, this is an underdeveloped region, and this is a region without hardly any police station or central paramilitary force presence, despite this militant outfit carrying on at their free will for the last 5 years.
Right, and Arijit, when we spoke to the Chief Minister, even he was saying that, pleading helplessness, saying that there is very little the state police can do in that area, and they want central aid. Is that even possible at this point?
Well, I don't think it's possible at this front, Kama, to be very frank. They've not been able to neutralize the GNLA for the last 5 years, despite all kinds of measures, despite bringing different factions to the talks table. But that aside also, we should also underline the fact, the horrific nature of the crime, in which the children and the man, he witnessed this woman being assaulted, and then how she was killed in front of them. In fact, the militants completely blew off her head. And it's not the first time that an incident like this is taking place in this region. In fact, also it breaks the myth of matrilineal society of Meghalaya. 800 rapes have taken place between 2002 and 2012. So it's as horrific as it gets, as gruesome as it gets.
Arijit, we'll have to leave it there, but thanks very much for this complete overview of the situation as it stands. And as Arijit has been saying all through the day today, this particular area that's rarely in the spotlight is now in the spotlight, in a sense, for all the wrong reasons, having suffered a state apathy for many years now. From Meghalaya, let's turn our attention to Uttar Pradesh, and despite all that mounting criticism over the horrific gang rape and murder of 2 sisters in Badaयूं, Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav and his government are remaining defiant. Worse still, they're being insensitive.
The Chief Minister accused the media of highlighting cases occurring only in UP while ignoring those in other states. Samajwadi Party leader Ram Gopal Yadav has now blamed the media and pornographic magazines for the increase in incidents of rape in the state. 2 teenage sisters were gang raped and hanged from a tree in Badaयूं last week. And here is how the father and son have responded to media questions and criticism on law and order.
संवेदनहीनता हमारे अंदर नहीं, मैं संवेदनशील हूँ।
ये घटनाएं केवल उत्तर प्रदेश में नहीं हो रही हैं। अब देश के मैं आंकड़े देने लगूंगा तब भी आप मेरे पे सवाल करोगे।
And it certainly doesn't end with the father and son. Senior Samajwadi Party leader Ram Gopal Yadav blaming the media.
Yes, and he also mentioned in that interview that you'll see with our with CNN IBN's Bhupendra Chaubey about pornographic magazines being responsible in the sense for an increase in incidents of rape and sexual violence in Uttar Pradesh.
उत्तर प्रदेश में ये जो कुछ हो रहा है, जो ये क्या इसको आप कहेंगे कि ये सब होता रहता है?
ये योजना
क्या आम बात नहीं है?
ये आम बात नहीं।
फिर
ये आम बात नहीं है। ये ऐसी चीजें हैं जो मानसिक विकृतियों से पैदा होती हैं, और मानसिक विकृति, माफ कीजिए, मानसिक विकृतियां पैदा करने में भी सबसे बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन मीडिया का ही है।
सर, आप मीडिया
सुनिए ना, सुनिए पूरी बात मेरी।
मीडिया तो एक इजी पंचिंग बैग है।
इजी पंचिंग बैग नहीं है। जिस तरह की पत्रिकाओं में अश्लील चित्रों का प्रकाशन होता है, जिस तरह की वायलेंस, जिस तरह की वल्गैरिटी, जिस तरह की ऑब्सीनिटी हिंदुस्तान के टेलीविजन चैनल्स में दिखाई जाती है, जिस तरह की ये वल्गैरिटी, ऑब्सीनिटी परोसी जाती है लोगों को, इस तरह से जो युवा मन होता है, मानसिकता होती है, उसमें बड़े पैमाने पर विकृतियां आई हैं, और जिसकी वजह से केवल उत्तर प्रदेश में नहीं, पूरे देश में इस तरह की घटनाएं होती हैं।
वर्ड सॉरी, शब्द सॉरी
कोई सवाल ही नहीं कहने, कोई सवाल नहीं।
Okay, so there you have it. Ram Gopal Yadav refusing to apologize for the breakdown in law and order in Uttar Pradesh. Instead, in that interview, he added that the state government was doing just fine. Let's listen in one more time to how the three Yadav leaders have responded to allegations of misgovernance in the state.
संवेदनहीनता हमारे अंदर नहीं, मैं संवेदनशील हूँ।
ये घटनाएं केवल उत्तर प्रदेश में नहीं हो रही हैं। अब देश के मैं आंकड़े देने लगूंगा तब भी आप मेरे पे सवाल करोगे।
And even as there is growing outrage against those loose comments, insensitive comments coming in from Uttar Pradesh leaders, there is no dip in the crime graph. In Greater Noida, a woman was allegedly gang raped in her home by 3 men while her husband and father-in-law were held by the perpetrators. In Aligarh, a judge has alleged that 2 men attempted to rape her despite the presence of security guards outside her house.
Okay, now another horrific case of violence against women, this time coming in from Mumbai.
A woman bus conductor was stripped and beaten on a state transport bus in the city. The incident took place in Dombivli. The accused has been arrested by the police. The accused abused the bus driver when he was reprimanded for getting in through the wrong door. The accused then attacked the lady conductor when she intervened.
Of course, these incidents of crime against women have caused outrage not just in India but across the world in a sense. A World Travel and Tourism Council report is warning that Indian tourism is facing immense negative publicity due to recurring incidents of rape and molestation. A statement has also come in from UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon saying he's especially appalled by the brutal rape and gruesome murder of 2 teenage girls in India. Reacting to an earlier statement of Mulayam Singh Yadav, Ban Ki-moon saying, "We say no to the dismissive, destructive attitude of, quote, boys will be boys."
And ahead on the show, a detailed report on how tourists coming from different parts of the world are looking at these unfolding events.
Remember, that's also our focus on India at 9 tonight. This rising crime graph, especially when it comes to crime against women, is this going to impact India's global image? That's going to be on Talking Point tonight on India at 9 with Bhupendra Chaubey.
And death over a Facebook post. The Pune police have now arrested 14 people suspected to be associated with the right-wing group Hindu Rashtra Sena for allegedly beating to death a 24-year-old boy in Pune on Monday.
In fact, 7 of these 14 have been arrested for murder. An IT professional was assaulted. He later succumbed to his injuries, leading to tension in the area. The police is now on the lookout for the remaining accused who have been identified. This incident comes just days after inflammatory posts were noticed on a social networking website. These posts were, of course, removed, but not before there was tension in the area. In fact, the Pune police now telling us that the city is calm.
टिफिन लाने के लिए वो शाम को 9 बजे घर से निकला। जो वापस आते वक्त कुछ दंगाइयों ने उसके ऊपर हमला किया और स्टिक्स और रॉड से हमला किया। उसमें उसकी मौत होगी। पुलिस इमीडिएटली स्पॉट पे पहुंच गई। पुलिस ने कुछ मोटरसाइकिल्स वहां से बरामद की। इमीडिएटली कुछ आरोपियों को भी अरेस्ट किया। प्राइमा फेशिया ये सब आरोपी हिंदू राष्ट्र सेना के कार्यकर्ता हैं।
Pune is absolutely peaceful. The last incident took place 48 hours ago. So there is no issues in Pune at the moment at all. There is no Rasta Roko for the last 2 days. There has been the last incident of Rasta Roko took place on 1st of June. So there has been no Rasta Roko on 2nd and 3rd and 4th. So life is absolutely normal. Everybody is going around his business.
Tension prevailed in Hadapsar area of Pune after a 24-year-old IT professional was beaten to death by a group of men. Mohsin Sheikh was returning home on the evening of Monday when a group of men allegedly affiliated with an outfit called the Hindu Rashtra Sena targeted him with sticks. They also targeted 2 other youngsters in the area. Police has arrested 14 of these accused. 7 of them have been charged with murder. Police is on the lookout of the remaining accused. Remember, this incident comes just a couple of days after certain derogatory references and posts appeared on a social networking website which triggered tension in some parts of Maharashtra.
Also getting you other news, breakthrough in the kidnapping of Indian NGO worker Father Alex Prem Kumar in Herat in Afghanistan.
Security forces have arrested this one person in connection with the kidnapping. The Afghanistan Interior Ministry telling CNN-IBN that a Taliban group is behind the abduction. Father Prem Kumar was abducted on Monday while he was visiting a project site in Herat. The Ministry of External Affairs has said it is in constant touch with the Afghan government and local authorities. In fact, Kumar was travelling despite an advisory to all Indians not to travel outside the limits of Herat after the attack on the Indian consulate just a week and a half ago. Meanwhile, DMK Chief Karunanidhi has also sought the Prime Minister's intervention on this matter.
We are still conducting search operations in Herat, and actually the police is doing its best to make sure that there is a safe release of that individual. That's all I can say, because we're in the middle of very important operations for the release. It's known that the Taliban group is responsible for this. The police in Herat is doing everything to make sure that the person is safely released.
I just spoke to the police chief office of Herat, and they have told me that their search is going on and they are having an operation to free the Indian aid worker. But as far as I talked to the police chief office of Herat, the military operation which is started to free the Indian aid worker, Mr. Prem Sharma, they said there was a clash between the security forces and the Taliban, in which 2 Taliban members got killed and one of the other injured. So the Herat police, they have said that they are trying their best to free the Indian aid worker.
Officials are saying that they are trying their best to find him. I hope the center and the state governments, along with the media agencies, help in finding him without causing any harm to him.
Apart from the news of kidnapping, we haven't heard anything. We miss him and we want him back soon.
Now to the final journey of Gopinath Munde. The last rites were performed this evening by his elder daughter Pankaja in his home village of Parli in Maharashtra's Bir district.
Union ministers and senior BJP leaders including Rajnath Singh, Smriti Irani, LK Advani, Nitin Gadkari, Sushma Swaraj all attended Gopinath Munde's cremation. He died in a road accident in Delhi yesterday.
And of course, emotions were running high. Munde supporters alleged there was a conspiracy behind the death and demanded a CBI probe in the case. BJP workers protested at the ground where the last rites were being performed this afternoon. They even torched a vehicle. The police was then brought in to control the crowd.
There's palpable anger among the supporters of Gopinath Munde. Just behind me is one such car that was burned down by the supporters. They were demanding that CBI inquiry should actually take place. The rationale behind is that they believe that this isn't just a simple case of road accident. Possibly there is a larger conspiracy. Also through the day we did see sloganeering against the government, specifically that against Sharad Pawar and also the Chief Minister.
लोगों को लग रहा है कि आने वाले 2 महीने में चुनाव था, मुख्यमंत्री पद के वो बहुत बड़े दावेदार थे और जो एक्सीडेंट हुआ है दिल्ली में तो वो लोगों को नेचुरल एक्सीडेंट लगता नहीं है। इसके पीछे बहुत बड़ी कुछ साजिश, पॉलिटिकल साजिश लोगों को लग रही है।
Here with News 360, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met up with bureaucrats in his government.
In fact, he is interacting with almost 80 secretaries across ministries to chalk out an action plan for his government. The secretaries are likely to make formal presentations.
And the first sitting of the 16th Lok Sabha took place today. Brief as the House was adjourned after paying homage to Gopinath Munde. The newly elected members will take oath on Thursday. On Friday, the election for the Speaker will take place and the President will address both the Houses next week. The session will go on till 11th June, but no business will be conducted. The budget session of Parliament will begin in the first week of July.
देश की जनता ने अभूतपूर्व मतदान करके जनप्रतिनिधियों को आशीर्वाद दे करके 16वें लोकसभा का चुनाव किया है कि लोकतंत्र के इस मंदिर में भारत के सामान्य मानवी की आशा आकांक्षाओं की पूर्ति के लिए भरपूर प्रयास किया जाएगा.
And news coming in from the opposition. Sources telling CNN-IBN a reshuffle in the AICC is likely after the parliament session ends on the 11th. Sources also adding that the Congress President Sonia Gandhi is believed to be working on a reshuffle of sorts where certain general secretaries and state Congress chiefs are likely to be replaced.
The news of a building collapse in Howrah. But all 15 people who were trapped under the debris have now been rescued. A portion of a roof of a 4-story building had collapsed. No serious injuries reported yet.
No relief for Sahara Chief Subrata Roy. The Supreme Court has refused to let him shift to a guest house under arrest, but has allowed Sahara to sell 9 properties to raise almost 2,500 crores. The Supreme Court has appointed senior advocate Fali Nariman as amicus in this case.
The CBI has registered the first set of FIRs in the multi-crore Sharda chit fund scam. The CBI said the role of regulatory bodies, including that of SEBI, Corporate Affairs Ministry, are being scrutinized in the case.
And even as the heat wave continues to trouble North India, the Met Department has said that the monsoon is very much on track, expected to hit the coast of Kerala tomorrow. In fact, the southwest monsoon is also expected to hit some northeastern states in the next 2 to 3 days. Okay, time now for a CNN-IBN exclusive. Senior Congress leader Kamal Nath has defended Sonia and Rahul Gandhi's decision not to lead the opposition in the Lok Sabha.
Here speaking to CNN-IBN's National Affairs Editor Bhupendra Chaubey, he said the Congress will provide an effective opposition.
So you believe that this is just a momentary phase? You believe this is just a temporary phase?
This euphoria and the BJP and this feeling that the Congress is
the sense of despondency within the Congress
it will be there. It's natural. It's natural. It will be there. But there's no element of permanence in this.
The steps which have been taken since the 16th of May, since the verdict came out, I know that you yourself have come out in the media and you've tried your best to defend the Gandhis, but I don't think it's just about the Gandhis. It's about the approach which is being adopted by the Congress party. Do you believe that the approach which is being adopted by the Congress party, whether it was your Congress parliamentary party meeting where it was completely predictable, someone offers to resign and then the party said no need, or even in the choice of leader of your parliamentary party in parliament, do you not believe that the Congress perhaps is still not willing to come to terms with what has happened, sir?
I think the Congress, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi and Mr. Rahul Gandhi are coming to terms and they are facing it squarely. The most important thing for all political parties, not only for the Congress, it applies to the BJP, it applies to the Samajwadi, it applies to the BSP, it applies to the TDP, it applies to the DMK, all political parties, that politics in India is undergoing a very rapid and dramatic change.
And which is moving away from the Congress?
No, that's not what it is. What it is that political parties must also change. Political parties have to adapt and adopt that change.
So how does the Congress change?
That is the challenge. Now the Congress has to also change with the changing politics of this country.
Right.
And I can say it very candidly, that is the first imperative for the Congress.
Who within the Congress is listening or willing to listen to the kind of changes you're telling me should be there?
I must make it clear that they are listening and they will listen and they will change.
They will change.
They will change.
Who,
because if it doesn't depend on just Mrs. Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi.
Do you believe the time has come now for the Congress to once again relook at the possibility of forging some kind of a grand alliance of all these parties?
We are not looking at
which are against the BJP.
We are talking of looking at floor coordination. We will be doing that. We'll be doing that, and if you think BJP is going to have a free run, forget about it.
No free run for the BJP is promising the Congress. Time for us to take a quick break here on News 360, but coming up ahead, Parikshit Luthra on our Twitter deck.
Yes, we'll be getting responses to our top story. Parikshit?
Yes, Karma, there has been a lot of anger about the kind of statements the Samajwadi Party has been making on all the rape incidents that have happened in Uttar Pradesh. Let's just get you one of them. What UPCM really mean? Yes, rapes happen everywhere. So can it be made legal? Even school students will come up with better ideas. We'll be getting you more reactions when we come back after this short break.
Welcome back. Time now for People First, and it's all about that rising crime graph. The rape and murder of two teenage sisters in Badaयूं, a minor raped and killed in Bangalore, a woman raped at gunpoint in Mumbai, an attempt to rape a judge in Aligarh. All these rising incidents of crime against women have caused outrage, not just in India, but across the world as well.
That's right, and with so much of bad news going around, tourists visiting India, Rene G. Lott, a World Travel and Tourism Council India initiative report now warns that these incidents could have potential visitors looking away.
With the chilling visuals of two teenage sisters gang raped and found hanging from a tree in Badaयूं grabbing international headlines, and crimes against women continuing unabated in Uttar Pradesh, many tourists say they do not feel safe in India anymore.
I'm always looking around and being careful who I talk to, and that's really unfortunate.
By 7 I should be in the house, or else something bad will happen. So definitely I'm not safe.
An independent travel report has warned that crimes against women have tarnished the country's image and has recommended strong steps to tackle the issue.
One of the key moves that the Ministry of Tourism needs to make is to get good get a PR agency worldwide who can bring in positive news also about India.
The UN and the US have also expressed concerns over rising gender violence in India.
I think so many in India, we were horrified to learn of these violent sexual assaults and murders. Our thoughts are with the victims' families during this difficult time.
The tourism minister tried to alleviate fears.
Modi government and our tourism ministry will definitely curb all this problem and give a good security to the foreign tourists.
The Uttar Pradesh government remains defiant.
जब घटना होती तो उसका प्रचार बहुत होता है और ये घटनाएं केवल उत्तर प्रदेश में नहीं हो रही हैं।
ये जो रेप की घटनाएं हैं ये मानसिक विकृति का परिणाम होती है और इसको कोई कानून के जरिए पूरी तरह से रोक नहीं सकता है।
This even as criticism mounts on Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav.
ये पहली बार हुआ है कि उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार बलात्कारियों के पक्ष में बोलती है।
If they give statement like this कि आपके साथ तो नहीं हुआ, तो आपको हमारे लिए प्रचार करना चाहिए। It's atrocious.
The centre, though, is not intervening yet.
But there's nothing that we can take suo moto action because we have to have faith on the state agencies.
But many are demanding the UP government's dismissal.
नहीं संभाल पा रहे हैं या विमेन सिक्योरिटी नहीं कर पा रहे हैं,
तो ऐसे हालात में उनको रिजाइन करना चाहिए।
With the tourism industry expected to generate over $1 million to the GDP and the increasing crimes against women, especially in Uttar Pradesh, causing a national and international outrage and denting the image of the country internationally, the government needs to take immediate steps to ensure the safety of women. With camera person Satish Upadhyay and Sahil Meghani in New Delhi, Meenakshi Upreti.
Also, politicians certainly not leading by example, and a lot of the outrage is directed towards them. Parikshit Luthra is joining us on our CNN IBN Twitter deck, and he has collated all the social media responses on our hashtag Stop the Shame. Parikshit, all yours.
Yes, Anubhav, we've been asking people on Twitter whether they do think that politicians are insensitive when it comes to crimes against women. We've been getting all sorts of reactions. Lots of that anger has been directed towards the UP government and the way it has dealt with the Badayu gang rapes and murders. Let's get you some of the tweets we've been getting, starting with Jayesh. Jayesh is telling us, it's an absolute pity that heads of state are tackling crimes against women with absolute callousness. Shame on you. Remember, Ban Ki-moon, the Secretary General of the UN, also condemned Mulayam Singh's earlier statement where he said boys will be boys. Again, Abhinandan, he's telling us the UP government statements on rape is nothing but because of the highly contagious foot-in-mouth syndrome. Stop this shame at IBN Live. He's probably referring to the statement made by Ram Gopal Yadav where he said that the rising incidence of rape in UP is a result of pornography. Again, another one that we're getting from Suraj Patel. He's saying, if someone believes young leaders can change politics, then he or she has not seen Uttar Pradesh government. Remember, Anubha, when Akhilesh Yadav had taken over as Chief Minister, there were a lot of expectations from him. Another one, hundreds of women brave water cannons and police force in Lucknow to protest the recent rape incidents. We've been seeing political parties marching up to the CM's residence to protest, and this tweet is a result of that. So a lot of anger on social media, a lot of it directed towards the UP government. With that, it's back to you.
Right, thanks for that. Parikshit, in fact, you too can have your say, hashtag Stop the Shame. Let's listen in to people who've reacted from Bangalore and Thiruvananthapuram.
I don't know why, what is in the mind actually, you know, but it's like programmed. They want to touch it, so to touch somehow, you know.
You look different, so, you know, sometimes they really consider it as not a good thing. Then sometimes it might only the people staring at you and you're not comfortable. It's not only the safety. But then I think even I face some, and even many of my friends,
we don't speak the same language, we don't speak the same culture. They don't empathize with us, they don't, I can't say they don't care about us, but I feel that we're more vulnerable.
My compassion for your countrywomen is very deep, and I am disgusted and horrified, as any civilized person would be. And I feel like weeping for these women.
I think that instances of sexual violence happen everywhere in the world. A lot of them aren't reported. You know, because it's something that women have dealt with for a long time, and it needs to stop. But it's also, I think India was very much in the spot.
Important point being made by the lady there. Sexual violence happens everywhere, but obviously women too is feeling a little more vulnerable in this country. Now to our special report here on News 360. In a Pakistani jail for almost about 11 years, subjected to all kinds of torture, a former Indian spy, Vinod Sahni, has seen little by way of appreciation from this country.
That's right. Even after 37 years on, he's now lost his only source of income. Mufti Ishta with his story.
Former Indian spy Vinod Sahni was sent on a mission to Pakistan 37 years ago. He ended up being arrested and spent 11 years in Pakistani jails. There he was severely tortured and even subjected to electric shocks. But Sahni feels the treatment meted out by his own country is far worse.
पाकिस्तान में इतनी तशद्दुद सहने के बाद हमारा कभी आंसू नहीं निकला था। शिकंजे पे हम चढ़े हैं, मेरे पास रिकॉर्ड है, हमने हमारे आंसू नहीं निकले। पर आज जब हम घर जाते हैं तो हमारे आंसू रुकते नहीं है बच्चों की हालत देखकर।
61-year-old Sahni sat on a hunger strike to protest the Jammu and Kashmir government's move to dismantle his fast food cart, the only source of living for his family of 4.
I don't know what for he is for hunger strike. He has no allotment orders, and the drive which we have carried is a routine drive. So I have already taken his case as in a sympathetical way, and in near future I have promised you, corporation will try to accommodate you.
Now, a helpless Sahni is urging Prime Minister Narendra Modi to intervene.
जवानी हमारी पाकिस्तान ने स्नैच कर लिया है और बुढ़ापा हमारा इंडिया खा रहा है। मैं यही चाहता हूँ कि जो स्लोगन उन्होंने दिया है कि अच्छे दिन आने वाले हैं, वो दिन जो है ये खुद अपने एडीसी को भेजें। उसी संविधान की कसम है उनको कि हमारे उजड़ने वाले दिन आए हैं या कि अच्छे दिन आए हैं।
Sani has never felt as bitter as he is today. Like a true selfless soldier who puts the country first, he doesn't aim for cash or recognition. All he wants is that he be treated with humility and with a fair share of honor. In Srinagar, Mufti Islah.
Welcome back. You're with News 360 and this is a quick piece of breaking news coming in.
That's right. Two people are dead after their car caught fire. This happened near Gurgaon. Shubhajit Sen Gupta is with us. Shubhajit, what happened?
It was an unfortunate incident. Around 6:25, this car was moving towards from Brisbane to Gurgaon border, and around that time, the car suddenly caught fire. Now, the central locking got jammed, and that's why the doors could be opened. There were two young teenagers who were sitting at the back, and the driver was at the front. The bystanders came in to help, but they could only take the driver out, and both the teenagers were burned alive.
Fair enough, Shubhajit. We'll have to leave it there, but thanks very much for that quick piece of breaking news. Tragic incident. Two teenagers are dead after their car caught fire. Investigation is currently in progress. A quick sports update now.
That's right. The countdown to the World Cup is on. England, Italy, Uruguay and Costa Rica fighting for the two qualifying spots. Roy Hodgson's English side has a bunch of over 30-year-olds in the 23.
Yes, but all eyes are going to be on the younger lot he's picked for the big games in Brazil.
England certainly one of the teams to watch out for. Also, today is the 25th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square protest, which saw a virtual clampdown. Hundreds of police officials, many armed with rifles, patrol the area.
Yes, we're leaving you with images of this important world event. India at 9's coming up next. Remember the students-led protests in China's Tiananmen Square. It ended on the June 4th, 1989, 25 years since then.